of what? Because of the problem solving skills, analytical skills, decision making skills, leadership skills. Those are the qualities that you need for a supervisor. So now let's talk about the supervisor qualities. Okay. So develop passion in the person for the work she is doing. You need not supervise him, her at all. So, you know, so this is the job of supervisor, putting, passion in them for those workers, for them to work, the best of their ability without even him, close by, doing supervision, doing instruction. That is the quality that you need for a supervisor because he's a good coach, he's a good trainer. Okay, he facilitates. You know, when the new employee is just started on the company, he's giving induction training, on the job training, making sure that this guy will have the readiness level of an employee, to start working on his own. So this is the kind of supervisor that you want. You want him to be good in terms of the training and development of the people. So real measure of leadership quality is not what happens in your presence, but what happens in your absence. Okay. The only, one of the workers that don't need close supervision is the long haul driver, long trip driver. Those guys who are driving 500 kilometers away, back and forth, 1,000 plus kilometers, doing a round trip of 2 days, 3 days. Okay, they are doing loan working. Loan working. What is loan working? You're not being supervised. Nobody is there, close by assisting you. You're on your own as a driver. You're on your own. You will only have company with you when you are being trained or assessed by a driving instructor. That's the only time that you have somebody with you during your trips. But when you're doing a regular trips, you're working alone. Okay, so you're not being supervised. Okay, that's why very important that the supervisors already instill or infused some of the abilities to the decision making. The driver can do decision making on his own when it comes to emergencies, when it comes to uh, situations, adverse situation. He's already trained and developed by the supervisor, but he's still being monitored by way of GPS, global positioning system, or the VTS, vehicle tracking system. Nowadays in the advent of this technology, you can, the manager can or the supervisor can monitor the long haul driver through even the mobile phone. The system VTS is installed in the mobile phone. Then the supervisor or manager will be able to trace him, monitor the speed of the trailer. What is the speed? Is he speeding? Is he doing adverse driving habits? The time of stops, okay, the rest period, or the driving hours. Is he following? Is he in compliance with the policy of driving hours policy or rest hour policy? Like in our policy, every 4 hours of drive, then you are given 1 hour of rest. For every 24 hours, in 24 hours, you have 8 hours of rest or sleeping time and things like that. Rather 12. After 12 hours of driving, or 10 or 12 hours of driving, you're gonna have 8 hours of rest. Okay, that is a spare policy, and the VTS will be able to track that. Be able to track, and some tractors, they are installed with the CCTV, camera. The camera is, through the system, the internet, be able to watch over your drivers. Those are the only thing I guess that they don't need supervision. But anyway, even if they're in the plant or in the construction site, you don't have to, closely monitor them. You only visit once in a while because supervisor manager has to do the planning. They'll be in the office doing planning or attending some meetings. They cannot be 24/7 looking, like looking the workers, because all the work are already delegated to the workers, and they have been trained and developed, and they don't need close supervision. If you are a supervisor that is doing 24/7 on the side of the workers, and you don't trust your workers, then perhaps you haven't really trained and developed your workers, because you don't trust him, you don't trust her. You have to be at her side or at his side, looking. You don't want the workers to make mistakes, and that's not a good supervisor. You have not trained and developed your guy. So a good supervisor is, even if you're not there, okay, let me repeat it. A real measure of leadership quality is not, this is doubled. Is not what happens in your presence, but what happens in your absence. Okay? I hope you got that. And another quality is earn respect. Okay? You don't ask for respect. You don't tell your worker, okay, come on, respect me. I'm your supervisor. I'm your manager. You respect me. You have no choice, but you have to respect me. You cannot say that. The respect is you should earn the respect. How are you gonna do that? You be on time. You have to have self-discipline yourself, self-esteem and self-confidence and discipline. You be on time. Be on time on during the meetings. You yourself convene the meetings. Okay, let's have a weekly meetings. All the guys here in the transport, all the guys in the logistics, or all the guys in manufacturing, or even in the support staff, support services. Who are the support services? HRM, human resource, or the finance team, or they are support services, support department. So even those guys, they have supervisor, and they also have meetings of their own, the supervisory committee meetings, the management committee meeting, mancom committee meetings. So when you do that, you be on time. You have the discipline. You don't want to be late in every meeting. Very important that you don't be late in a meeting. The most hated guys, the most hated guys are those guys who are lazy in attending the meeting. They're always late. They always procrastinate, uh, in their accomplishing the plan, the action plan. Okay, because you cannot progress the action plan without attending the meetings, because all the issues, all the things that you're going to do to accomplish is in the meetings. Will be discussed in the meeting. There will be presentation. Okay, there will be progress. What is the progression of the action plan? In terms of our action plan, in terms of health and safety action plan, in terms of quality improvement action plan, in terms of addressing the issues in the manufacturing. There are issues, there are contamination of products, there are rejection of products. All of this will be discussed in the meeting. So you be on time, be mindful of others, even if these guys that you're going to meet are your subordinates, you should be on time. You should be there first before your guys are even coming in. Okay, you be on time. By doing that, you will earn respect from these people. Respect will just automatic. It will come. You don't have to ask it. You don't have to force somebody. Come on, guys, you respect me. I'm your supervisor. You don't do that. Otherwise, you will lose the respect. Whatever respect that is remaining in them towards you will be lost. Okay? So you have to earn it. It's not easy to earn it. You have to work hard for it. You do not talk unnecessarily as a supervisor, unnecessary stuff, unnecessary things, especially in the meetings. You have to be professional all the time. Don't talk about things that are not actually in the agenda. You're talking about the performance of other people, the habits of other people, other departments. You don't do that. Otherwise, if you do that, then your guys will lose respect. What kind of a boss I'm having here? He's talking about his other supervisor not doing good performance, and he is the only one. He always boasting. No, I'm the only one supervisor. We have more than 100 supervisors in this company, and I'm the only one who is doing good. Oh, you're talking, you're trying to, you know, you're trying to impress your guys. You cannot impress your guys by doing that, doing gossips. You impress your guy by doing your own track record, your own excellent performance. That's what you do. Otherwise, you'll not be able to impress your guys. You'll not be able to, you know, you know, get their attention and earn the respect. You be regular to work. You don't make absences. You don't have, if you don't want absenteeism among your guys, then you don't have to do absenteeism also of yourself. You have to be regular to work unless you are sick or something important happen, which you have to attend. Then you be out of the work. But when you're good for work, then you come to work. Because your people will always notice you. Your workers or subordinates will always notice you. And they will take note of that. And they will say, what kind of boss I am having? He's not coming to work often. He's outside. Because nobody is looking after him. No, nobody is controlling him. This is abuse of authority. That's what you say. That's what you call it. Abuse of authority. Okay. Okay. You show the enthusiasm and commitment. Okay, another thing. If you're not enthusiastic, you are always gloomy. You always look sad, or you're problematic person. Okay, and you're always yelling at everybody. Uh, you know, and you're not looking positive. You are not having a positive uh, your behavior, your attitude. It will show to the people. Okay, so you have to, how can you urge them to give their performance? How can you, encourage people to do their best if they are actually these guys are looking up to you, and they look at you as if you're not interested. You don't have the keen interest in your work, okay, and you're not showing enthusiasm, and you're not doing all your commitment. So if you want to be, respected, if you want if you want to impress them, then you have to do all these things. No, be a leader, be an influencer, okay, be a motivator. You motivate these people. So you do things which are respectable. You do things, like you're trying to improve the production. You're trying to improve the performance of the construction guys. Okay, you are thinking of their health, safety, and welfare. Okay, you're thinking of their career path. You're thinking of their career development opportunities. You're thinking of their promotion opportunities. That's what you do. To be, you do all respectable things. You always in compliance with the procedures, in compliance with the policies, in compliance with the methodologies, in compliance with whatever workflow process that you have in your workplace. You follow that to the letter, then you are a respectable person. Okay. So you be disciplined in your actions and words, your behavior. Okay. That's what you do as supervisor. So those are the some of the qualities as supervisor. Okay. Let's go on. Accountability. This is another responsibility, accountability. These are the things that you have to have as quality, no? You are responsible and accountable for the results. You're accountable for the making sure that you produce whatever is demanded of you, expectation of the management. Uh, we're expecting you to produce 100 metric tons of products today. Okay. No issues in terms of quality, no contamination of cross-contamination of products, good quality. There will be no complaints of the customers. The packaging are looking good. The product tasted good. You will be responsible. Whatever happens, damages, high cost, high CTP, high cost to produce, or accident, you'll be accountable because you are supervisor. It is written in the job description that you will be responsible and accountable. This is part of the job dimension of your job description. Okay, in terms of volume handled, that's in the job description. Okay, in terms of the quality, in terms of the people that are working under you, the resources that you are managing, you know, unless there was deliberate disobedience or non-compliance of your order or a sabotage from the workers. That's another thing that has to be investigated. And again, you have to put control measures in place to controlling the work, okay, because you are managing resources. That would be your accountability. You are a problem solver. You're doing problem solving, analysis, problem analysis. You're defining the problem, identifying the problem, and looking for the root cause of the incidents. Okay, that would be your responsibility, accountability, and responsibility as supervisor. So those are the supervisory qualities. Okay, supervisory skill qualities again, social skill or human relation skills. No, okay, you have interpersonal skills. So make sure that everybody are happy and they are happily doing their job. They're enjoying their job. They enjoy their job. So this is important in supervisor. Uh, how are you going to make your workers happy? Take care of their health, safety, and welfare. Taking care of their well-beings. You know, their difficulties, or problems in the workplace. Criticize privately to your subordinates. Okay, you don't do it publicly. If you want to scold them, you want to criticize them, if you want to, give, feedback to the people, then you need to criticize privately. You don't want to embarrass these guys, no, your subordinates. If you want to praise them, then that's the time that you praise them publicly, in public. How are you going to do it? You praise them during the meetings, like oh, this person, Peter, is doing a hell of a job, you know, his best performance of his life. And that's why we're giving him recognition, maybe certificate of recognition, maybe even incentivizing good performance. No, some companies are doing that. They're infusing that in their budget, putting some incentives. Our company, the previous company that I work for, is like that. They put in the budget the training, the development, incentives, recognizing the people. It's monetarized. No, there are money involved. Okay, so you can do that also. By doing that, you are going to improve your social skill or human relation skill, which is part of uh, the leadership skills. No, you're going to improve your leadership skills if you're going to improve your social skill, interpersonal skill, human relations, your human relation skills. Okay. Okay. Another uh, qualities of supervisor is fairness. You have to have fairness in your subordinates, in your peers, colleagues, and subordinates. Many labor issues arise because the workers do not feel they have been treated fairly and equally. Okay. So expect good work from all if you do that. Okay. The government has done their best in terms of the compensation and benefits, no, the the um, the pay structure, the grading. As a result from the job evaluation, you make grades, no, like in manual grades. They have, let's say for example, like manual grades 1, manual grades 2, or let's say in our company we call it O1 laborer, cleaner, O2 machine operator, O3 line leader, or times things like that. O4, O5, O6. Then the technical grade, you have T1, maybe stock control clerk, or then E2 is like secretary, E3 is like senior stock controller, E4 is like team leader, E5 is like team manager, E6 is like senior team manager, things like that, no? Okay? So the company, as I said, has done its best to make sure that the compensation, the monetary side of this, the compensation is equitable. You are putting uh, equity, okay, for your remuneration, for your compensation. And you, as supervisor or manager, you have to do your own thing, okay? What are the things you can do? The practices that you are putting, that you are exercising in the workplace, like assigning responsibility, assigning, delegating work. You have, let's say, for example, you have 10 people working under you, maybe technicians, okay? You assign fairly, equally between the 10 technicians, okay? You assign equally. Do not overload one person. Do not underload another person. Otherwise, these guys will be, you know, will have issues. You're going to have issues with these guys. In terms of what? In terms of maybe absenteeism later on. Okay, maybe uh, not working hard. Okay, because you are not fair in your treatment with your employee. You have to be fair. If you are going to overload somebody in terms of your workload, delegate every time you delegate. Because why? Because also some supervisors are trusting more this person. You are trusting more this person because this person is having the readiness level that he can do anything that you want to assign to him, any work that you want to assign to him. So he's got the readiness level. So you're you trust him so much that you are assigning, but you that this is going to be a problem because that person maybe is accepting this positively, but sooner or later he will realize that he's the only one who's receiving all this work, but the other guys are not working, are not being assigned like complex activities, complex work, or too much work. You're putting too much on their plate, so you don't do that. Otherwise, you have to be fair treatment, like recognizing an excellent performance. You have to have an agreed criteria, and this criteria has to be agreed with everybody. Like, how are we going to how are we going to identify the person who's going to be the employee of the month this month? How are we going to do that? And then you put some criteria, like maybe no absenteeism, and those are the criteria that you're going to include. What else? The output, no, the performance. Okay, and he's not late. Okay, in work, coming to work. Okay, and no issues with other co-workers. Or you can put several criteria, and then this criteria should be agreed with everybody. This is what I call UAO. If you put the criteria, and you have to have UAO from them, they understand the criteria, understanding, and they accepted it. There should be acceptance of the criteria, and they will own it. Ownership, there will be ownership. So UAO, understanding, acceptance, and ownership. And then when they agreed on this criteria, then they will not complain later on, like, why, how come I don't receive employee of the month? And then he has only himself to blame why he's not receiving employee of the month, because they're after the employee of the month, because they will receive uh certificate, they will receive money, because this is also incentivized or monetized. So he understand already, because there was previous prior agreement to the criteria that this would be our selection criteria. Okay, so that's how you do it. You have to have fairness with everyone. If you want to give time off for someone, you also have to give time off for the others. Okay, don't just give one guy a break and you're not giving breaks to everybody else. So fairness is one of the qualities that you have to implement in the workplace in order for you to be a good leader or effective leader. Okay. Supervisor qualities, another quality should be adaptable. Should be adaptable or flexible, flexible to the situation, flexible, adaptable to the situation, adaptable to adverse conditions, you know, adverse, adaptable to whatever you have in your workplace, in your among your complement. Okay, be ready to manage changes efficiently. Be willing to learn. There are changes from the management, maybe in terms of the policies, and you think it's not favorable to your team. So you have to adapt to that situation. You know, you don't complain as supervisor. You should not be a chronic complainer. Okay. If you are a chronic complainer, then the people will not like you. You'll not earn respect. The management themselves will not like you, and you are not a respectable person. So be ready to manage the changes. Uh, Whatever resources that you have, sometimes it boils down to resources. It happens many times to resources because sometimes uh, worst situation needs drastic measures from the management, like we're lacking the budget now, we're not really making good in the market, we have to streamline the operations, we have to make a change management, we have to make some changes. You as supervisor, you have to understand that there are certain situation, okay, there are certain not so favorable situation that you have to cope up, adapt. So like for example, changes in the issuance of materials, issuance of ingredients, issuance of materials. Like for example, in construction, for example, the kind of material that you are asking for is not being given to you because of the cost. You know, of the cost issue. Okay, this brand of material, maybe wood or steel or whatever materials that you have in the construction, no? This is not what you want, the brand that you want. Oh, give me this brand. Give me the 3M brand. Give me the most expensive one brand. What's important for the management is they are looking for the quality, of course, and the cost. Quality, but also with cost. This is the best quality, the best brand, but it's too expensive, and the company will not make, or the contractor will not make money. Also with manufacturing, give what kind of brand that you like for your materials, for your ingredients, and it's not given to you by the management because of the cost analysis that they were doing, and this is too much expensive, and the quality is not that far anyway, so the quality is almost the same. So you can use this, and it will not affect our quality of the products, the output of the products. It will not affect anyway. So why you buy the expensive one where you can buy the less expensive one or the less costly one? Okay, so those are the things that you can adapt. Okay, okay, you are not it's always something to do with the resources, always something to do with resources. Okay, and you have to adapt, you have to make the changes. The when the management is doing change management, there is a reason for that. You should be one of the navigator of the change management. You should not be the victim. You feel victim, or you feel like you are not being considered, giving consideration in this new policy or new procedure. Okay, be cool and calm. Maintain self-control. Don't lose temper. Do not shout. Uh, do not swear. Okay. You're right. So some supervisor, this is most of the blunder or most mistakes of supervisor. They think when they are shouting, or they lose their head, or what you call, they lose their tops. When they lose their tops, the subordinates will not get hurt. Subordinates will just shrug their shoulders. Oh, the boss is again angry. The boss is again lose his tops. This is not good. for you, you will not look good as a supervisor. If you lose your temper, like a situation like troubleshooting, and your guys are not able to solve the problems in their troubleshooting, and then you lose your job because you're so pressured. Okay, you're in you're in into into a very stressful situation, or you're into a chaotic situation, or precarious situation, or precarious conditions. Ah, okay, so don't lose cool, because you're not going anywhere. You're not going to solve the problem. You're only adding problems. You're only adding insult to injuries. Any supervisor who is losing his temper, losing his top, will not solve problem. It's not a good problem solver. You have to have calmness in you when you are analyzing problem, looking for root cause of the problem. Like one example, let's say for example, the product that maybe you're producing cheese, okay, maybe mozzarella cheese, no, or triangle cheese, and it has contaminated, and it will be recalled from the customer. They're already in the market, and the management want to, upon finding out after laboratory test, there are contaminants in and you want to recall it. And this is big problem for you, supervisor, because remember, the accountability is on you. You are responsible person. You produce this, okay, and you did not take care in terms of the hazard analysis and critical control point, the HACCP or GMP, good manufacturing practices. You didn't take care. There was contamination, maybe I don't know, some microorganism in the products. It will be recalled. And this is multi-million. You're talking about multi-million pesos lost, because there is loss in terms of the raw material cost, in terms of overhead cost, electricity, in producing it, labor cost, shipping cost, no, transportation cost, sales cost, merchandising, so many costs. So if that products will return uh, to the company, the supervisor will think, maybe it can be, reprocessed, reproduced, but I don't think so. Most of the products like that will be thrown in the garbage. Okay, will be disposed, and your supervisor will lose your calm, lose your cool and calmness, and will shout everybody, and you will blame everyone, all all the people working under you except you yourself. You will blame everybody for not doing a good work. A supervisor like that is not a good supervisor. You have to blame yourself first before you blame everybody else. Okay? Maybe you're not doing a good job as supervisor. That's why you have a contaminated finished products. So you have to blame yourself. Don't blame anybody. Huh? Don't blame anyone. You blame yourself. You're not doing good in terms of your the controlling aspect of your management, or your supervision. Okay? Okay? Okay. So you have to learn from that experience. As supervisor, you have to learn from the experience that nothing is perfect. You have to put control measures in place. You have to make sure that you are doing everything in your power to make sure that nothing will happen, no issue will happen, no problems will occur. Okay. So if you lose your self-control, if you lose your temper, if you shout to everyone and blame everyone, maybe you're going to add problems to your already existing problem. Maybe you're going to have a turnover of employee. Employee will resign. Employee will lose their trust also, will lose respect, and they will abandon you. So you're only adding. So every problem can be solved. You're a problem solver. You analyze the problem, you find the root cause, and then you find the control measures that you're going to put in place. Then you'll solve the problem. And the most important is the non-recurrence of problem. As supervisor, you will see to it that there will be no non-recurrence. The problem will not repeat. If you have this problem and then it will happen again in the future, then you're not putting control measures in place. You're not good in doing it, in solving the problem. Because the purpose of solving the problem is what? To ensure that there will be no recurrence of the same problem. The same problem will not repeat. If it is repeating, then the management will lose their confidence in you. Okay? So just be cool and calm and will be solved. All problems can be solved. There is no such thing as unsolvable problems. They can always be solved. You have to find it as supervisor. You have the ability, you have the skills, knowledge, and you have gained so much experience already that you know how you're going to do it to solve the problem. Okay? Another quality of supervisor, be approachable, a very important quality. Always give us a smile and always lending a helping hand, you know, without shutting off feedback by scolding, judging, moralizing, and give importance to the concern. Listen to workers, managers, customers. Okay, you have to listen to them. Be approachable. You should have a open door policy. Whenever, do not choose only the high ranking officer that you're going to talk. You're not talking the entry level workers. Also, maybe they also have ideas. You don't know, and they make suggestions, pro propositions. And then in the end, you will decide whether you're going to use it or not. But first, you have to accept and analyze whether it's workable or whether it's feasible. You know, those are the things that you're going to do. Be approachable. You're trying to win friends and influence people as as part of your leadership competency. If you're not doing that, you're not being approachable, then you'll not be able to win friends. You will not be able to influence people. You will not be able to motivate people because you're not closing your door on them, and you're also closing the door on opportunity if you're not an approachable person. Okay. Okay. Another quality: know their jobs. If you don't know their jobs, then you're going to have problem. If one of your employees is having difficulty, it's a complex problem, it's complex issue, and he wants to solve it, and he's not able to solve it, then he'll be coming to you asking for help. And the problem is you don't know the job, you don't know their job, then you're not able to help your employee, and that would be a big blunder. So effective supervisor possesses true knowledge of each worker's job. So make things happen when others are intimidated or overwhelmed. Jump in front and show it can be done. You urge them to do it. Okay. You just give a little bit of tips and proposal, maybe suggestion, maybe. Then encourage them that they can do the work. Another quality, committed and responsible. Most employees admire supervisors who are committed to the organization and management policies. Being a management rebel may give short-term popularity but affect the long-term effectiveness. Okay. Always give commitment if you can. If it is within the policy, within the rules and regulations of the company, you can do that. You have to commit, but do not overcommit. Do not put too much on your plate if you cannot commit. You have to ensure that your commitment is successful. Okay. Okay, you have to commit to the compliance of the policies because the policies are formulated for the good of everyone, for the good of the business, for the good of everybody. Because that the policies are guidance, they are our guidance. So you have to be in compliance. If you're not following it and you're always against it, then everybody will be against it, your subordinate will be against it, then what's the use of the policy? If there is no commitment among the employees, it will not be, you will not reach the, into the, you will not get the provision, okay, of meeting the, or achieving the goals and objectives, the SMART objectives. Okay. Another quality, be innovative. Have courage to try new methods. Okay, you do trial and errors. You try it again until you succeed, no? Help others to do it in a new way. Maybe there's some other new way. You just have to discover new ways. There are so many things, so many ways to do a job. Maybe you got used to doing the same job over and over, and you're still not discovering the new methods because you're not trying to do it. So be innovative. That's how you do innovation. That's part of the continuous improvement. Okay. Adapt. You have to adapt to the CI, continuous improvement, which is one of the advocacy of the ISO certification, continuous improvement. And be proactive, take initiative, and make things happen. Not being a reactive supervisor, but proactive supervisor. Before anybody do it, you have already done it because you are proactive. You have already found the solution of the problem because you are proactive, working hard for it. You know, being proactive is always giving good results, no end results. But reactive person, damage has been done, incidents already occur, accident already occur, and many issues or problems already occur because you are late in working on it. But if the incident happened before you have done something before the incident or accident happened, you are proactive. You have done something already before the incident happened or the problems happen. So, you know, you'll be surprised. You'll be caught off guard if you don't do it, if you're just a reactive person. You are working on some activities only when the problem happens, and that's reactive. You only done it when it's already done, when it's already appeared, the problem's already appeared, and it's too late for that. So before the problems appear, you have done many measures already in place. You put control measures in place already. So that's is being proactive. Okay. So be a proactive supervisor. Okay. Give clear instructions and ensure it is understood correctly. Most of the mistakes is because there's an ambiguity. The instruction is ambiguous, not very clear. Not you should give vivid instruction or clear instruction, because your subordinates maybe does not understand and just say yes, yes, sir, I'm going to do that. Then he just did something wrong because he did not understand clearly the instructions coming from you. Maybe instructions is given to him via cell phone. The instruction is given via email. The instruction is being given via the two-way radio or a handwritten notes, and many other channels, no, many other means of giving the message across. And you're not doing it clearly. Make sure that you have to ask question. Do you understand? Do you receive it? Don't be afraid to ask question if you don't understand. Things like that. No, you have to give encouragement. Otherwise, there are going to be problems. That's why supervisors should be a good communicator. You must have a good communication skills. Also, a listening skills. You have to listen whatever feedback that is being given by the subordinate. You should listen. They're having difficulty, hardships, then you have to listen. Okay, so that's how you do it as a supervisor. Always give instruction. That's why in ISO, in the quality manuals, you have procedures, and there is also specific work instructions. Work instructions for operator, work instructions for technicians, work instructions for computer operator. It is included in the quality manual. So the training department or the SME, subject matter experts in the workplace, will do the training. Explain to the workers clearly the work instructions, one by one, step by step. And then you have to do an assessment. What is assessment for? To find out whether they understood the assessment or the instructions, whether they understood the instructions given to them. Okay? If it is not clear, if they don't understand still, then you have to give the instruction. Then once you have given the work instructions to them and they understood training, then these subordinates will review the manual.